Afternoon, Arsene. What have your first impressions of America been?
My first impression is that there are more and more people here in the States who love football, and we meet so many people who know our players. That is a bit unusual for us in the States, and that's a good sign that football is taking off in the States, and we know that because there are now many players from the Premier League who come here to the MLS.
What are your primary aims for this tour, both on the pitch and off it?
Sorry?
Your primary aims for this tour, both on the pitch and off it?
For us is to prepare the season. You know that we have a very short period to prepare, that many of our players have been at the European Championship, and we start mid-August, so we have to make absolutely the maximum with every single game we play. So that's why it's a very interesting game for us on Thursday.
And just finally from me, Per Mertesaker's not here. What's the latest on him?
Well, we have bad news for Per Mertesaker because we played in Lens on Friday night. He finished the game, had a little pain at his knee, and we found out after the next day that it was much more serious than expected. He had the surgery yesterday in Germany. It all went well. I know he'll ask me for how long he will be out. I don't know, but a few months, but I don't know for how long he will be out exactly.
Gentleman at the back.
Hi there, with nycfc.com, New York City. Questions for Arsene. Just wanted to know if you had a chance to watch Patrick Vieira in his first season, if you've had any impressions of him as a manager, his tactics, or any of the like.
Well, I think he is learning his... Sorry, I fall down. I believe he's learning his job, and that's good for him to have an experience. You know, Patrick was a fantastic football player for us and for the French national team as well, and I'm sure he has all the qualities to be a great manager. I haven't seen New York play this season, but he has done a good job with Man City at the youth level, so it's a natural progression, I would say.
Hi, Marco Yukolovich here with KLIV Radio. I know you guys have a game to play on Thursday, and you guys are going to take this as serious as possible, but being in the San Francisco Bay Area here in San Jose, are you guys going to be able to do any kind of sightseeing? Is there anything you guys want to do and see while you're here?
For me? Obviously the main reason we're here is to get fitter and get ready for the Premier League, but you know that we have a few days in the afternoon where we can get out and see some sights, and we'll be happy to.
Well, as Jack said, I think the main reason why we're here is to prepare for the season, to get fit, and we have great facilities, which is always helpful. As the boss said, you know, it's very difficult when you have groups of players coming different times. So we are working on the fitness and obviously looking forward to the game because we know how everybody is excited about the game.
In the middle here.
Hello, Ben Brown, Golden State Media Concepts. Arsene, my question is for you. Granit Xhaka made the trip. Are we going to see him on Thursday for his first action for Arsenal?
Who?
Granit Xhaka.
Granit, yes, will play a part in the game. He's a bit short fitness-wise because he just came back last week. But you will see him, yes.
Tom.
Arsene, hi. If I could just ask you two parts of the question. On Per Mertesaker, how has it complicated your plans for the new season in terms of will Lauren Koscielny come back sooner? Will he be able to play, or will you have to look for maybe an option to fill in?
We have to look for an option, of course, to get a bit more experience. You will see some of our young centre backs on Thursday as well, but with Per being out and we are a bit short on the experience front, and we are looking to bring somebody in.
And if I also may, Lyon have issued a statement today saying that you've had a bid for Lacazette turned down. Can you expand on that, or will you follow?
Really.
it was worth a try.
Lyon is responsible for their own statements on the transfer front. I think always the best is to keep it as secret as possible, and if we sign somebody, we announce it. But I cannot tell you much more than that.
At the back.
Hi, Len Ramirez, KPIX TV. This is for Arsene and the players. Arsene, do you coach a game like this a little differently than you would a Premier League game or a Champions League game? And for the players, do you play any differently in a game like this where you're in a foreign country, in a primetime TV slot, and you're exposing the game to a lot more people?
No, I didn't understand the question.
So he's asking, do you approach this game differently from a Premier
Oh, no.
League?
No, we are Arsenal Football Club. We are under pressure every time to win the game. We play to win. And we want to win, as always, with style and respecting our identity, our values that we think are important in our game, and that's what we do. But of course, we want to win the game. And we know, in fact, that the history of this game is in favor of the MLS, because on what I've heard, they won in former seasons, they won the games. Most of the time, so we know we face a very determined and motivated team.
Petter, did you get a question?
Yep. No, I think that is always challenging because the players from the MLS All-Star team, they're obviously in the middle of their season. They are fit, much fit, and obviously they have the advantage. So for us, it's always challenging to play teams like that, and you need to keep working and have a big focus. So I think it's always a big question mark when you have team who never played together, and now suddenly you have all these players coming for 1-2 days and they will play against us. So let's see in which lineup and which system and how they're gonna play. But I think the most important is to concentrate on what we want to do and to make sure that we have a good game, and if we can win, we want to win.
I agree with Petter. It's another game for us. I think for a player, the only way you're going to improve your fitness and improve ahead of the season is by giving it 100%. Even if for 45 minutes, then you give your all for that time, and then the boss will change you. But as well, I think it's nice for us to play in front of different fans, different TV stations, and the American fans get to see us.
Down here.
Colin at NireFootball.com. For Arsene, you have a young American on your squad on the tour with you, Gideon Zelalem. We're curious, this country's curious, is he going to play, and how do you feel about his development?
Look, I took him with me because I have an opportunity. Last year he was on loan at the Rangers, Glasgow Rangers, where he did quite well. I think he's a player who has quality, who has top quality. He might be a bit longer to mature because he had the physical, was physically a little behind on body structure. But I'm sure he will be a great player who matures maybe a bit slowly, physically, but overall I'm convinced that he will make a great career. Will he play? Certainly a part of a game as well, yes, a little part.
Tom?
Jack, a question for you, please. You come back after your summer break. How big is a season is this for you now? And how do you look back on the summer with England? How long did it take to get over that disappointment?
Well, of course, it's a big season for me. I missed a big part of last season, most of the season, and then of course I went away with England, which was good for me. I needed that. The last thing I needed was to have 7 weeks off after working hard to get back for the Euros. Of course, the Euros was disappointing for us. When we look back on it now, you analyse each game, and we should have done better. But I think where we went wrong was in the Iceland game. Is just we simply weren't good enough on the day. We played well leading up to that. We should have beat Russia, and we beat Wales. And then the Slovakia game was a bit of a strange game because we knew we were through, but going into the Iceland game, we were favourites. We should have beat them, but maybe the pressure got to us, and on the day we weren't good enough.
How long did it take you to get over it?
It's always there in your memory. Thinking, what if? But in football, the good thing is, I had a 2-week holiday. I've come back. It's a new season. It's a new start, and we've got to put that behind us now.
My question is for Arsene Wenger. My name is Paul Kennedy of Soccer America. Traditionally, Arsenal has not been a club that has gone on a lot of extended foreign tours like some other big clubs have.
Extended what?
Foreign tours in preseason.
No.
What are
We are
some
not
of the
big fans of that.
Yeah. And my question is, what do you weigh in making those decisions, and what do you think of in terms of when to go or where to go? In this case, you do have the advantage of probably having a little better weather than some of the other teams have had recently on their foreign tours.
Look, honestly, I'm a realist as well, because I know that in the modern game we have many sponsors who support us, and our sponsors wanted us to travel, and to please them I accepted to do it. We were the last ones on the road, and I'm quite happy to come to the States because it's always good facilities, people are nice, and overall you feel that football wakes up here and that people have more and more interest, and it's interesting to be part of that. Apart from that, the negative side of it is that you travel, you're jet lagged, and you sacrifice a little bit of your training time to traveling and recovering. So that's the handicap.
Last couple here.
Hi, Elliot Almond, San Jose Mercury News. It's for Peter and Jack, please. You obviously, almost every game Arsenal plays is a spectacle, but this is a special moment for American soccer where it stops in mid-season and has this game just to celebrate it. Do you wish that you had that chance in EPL?
Well, I think if you look through the American sports, if it's the NFL, NBA, no, not NFL, but NBA and NHL, they all have the All-Star game, and it's very popular. So I think that's the tradition in this country. So football continues that, but in Europe you don't have that usually. So I think it would be very interesting to have an All-Star game in England, but we have no winter break because there is so many games, and to add anything into the calendar sometimes would be very challenging. So maybe in the future, why not? But we are happy to be part of this special day for the US soccer and the MLS, and hopefully we will, as I said, we will have a good game, and we will make sure that people remember this game.
No, I agree with Pete. I think it would be nice, but if you look through our fixture list, and we have no time. We play every 3 days, and especially around Christmas. But as Pete said, maybe one day it would be nice, but we're happy to be part of this.
Next to you.
Simon Borg, MLSsoccer.com. A question for Peter and a question for Coach Wenger. Peter, you might be going up against your former teammate here, Didier Drogba. I'm curious if you've ever faced him, and if you're already texting and dealing with that. And for Coach Wenger, Sebastian Giovinco is the most valuable player, the reigning most valuable player in Major League Soccer. He's played in Europe many years for Juventus. I'm curious if Arsenal was ever interested in a player like that over the course of the years, and what's your technical evaluation of a player like Giovinco?
Look, everybody knows. Maybe Peter, you start.
No, first I'm looking forward to play against Didier, because it's been a very long time I actually didn't have this opportunity. So it's always it's been my teammate for 10 years, and then obviously we faced each other in the Champions League while he was with Galatasaray. But I'm looking forward to that because playing against top players is always challenging. And as I said, in this moment of the preseason, is great to have this challenge ahead of you because it's about your fitness, getting back to the game, but as well it challenges you in the mental side because you need to focus and need to make sure that you're on top of the game, even though it's the preseason. So, as I said, I'm looking forward to the game, and obviously I hope that he doesn't score because then for a whole year he would have, he would text me with a picture of the goal probably.
Well, at the moment I would say that in Europe, especially England, looks to be the attraction and a little bit the World Championship for the biggest players. When you look at who is managing in the Premier League, who is playing in the Premier League. After that, it's always interesting for a player at some stage of his career to move out to a different culture and a different experience. Or you start something, or you go to have a great contract somewhere. And at the moment in Europe, the players who leave, they go or to China or to the States, And for Jovinko, I was surprised because he left quite quickly, early. And most of the time, this happens around the 30s. But it's interesting to have a different experience in a different culture for the player, for the development of a player.
This is Paula from 1010 AM. My question is for everybody. Welcome to the United States. What you have done different from home, talking about mental and physical training for the All-Star game? Thank you.
You ask me?
You can start.
Jack, come on. Work a bit.
Yeah, I think we prepare in the same way as I've said before. It's important that first we get ready for the Premier League, but these games are important as well to build up. We can train as much as we want, but it's a different type of fitness when you play in a game. So I think we prepare the same physically and mentally as well.
Last one over there.
Well, I just would add that you have plenty of players who have the qualities to play at the top level, but physically and technically. But what makes a top level player is a mental aspect. How much do you want it? How much do you want to be a champion? And so that is part of a package of a top level player. They have special mental qualities, or they cannot make it at the top.
Joe Tollison, Sirius XMFC. Mr. Wenger, question for you. When Major League Soccer was founded, of course, as with every league in the world, one of its missions is the development of the players on the grassroots level. And now that we see, in the past we've always seen national team players that caliber make the journey over to Europe to play in leagues there. But now we're starting to see younger and younger players. You have Gideon Zelalem, Christian Pulisic at Borussia Dortmund. How much do you now, as a manager, when you go to recruit young players, how much do you look at the United States now as a possible destination?
Well, usually when I think the Americans have a big quality. They're dedicated. When they do something, they do it 100%. And I would love to have players coming from here because they have individual responsibility and when they're committed. I believe that a long time in this country you had a handicap because you play only 6 months. Every sport lasts 6 months, In Europe, players play, these players next to me, they play 11 months per year since they are kids. So that makes a big difference in practice time. And after that, it's difficult to catch back. Now it's changing. And we have practiced in a university this morning. The facilities are absolutely exceptional, It's all there, but it's quality of practice and practice time. And that means they have to play, if you want to catch back, the boys have to play the whole season.
Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you on Thursday.